I did want to ask you another question. There's currently a bill called the Ag Gag working its way through our House. Do you see how that might affect you in any way? Or
I don't. We have an open door policy on our farm. Our customers and our members are welcome to come out to the farm and see how we raise our animals, how we raise their food. So as far as having kind of a closed door policy or trying to hide something, I think everybody should have an open door policy as far as that goes.
Well, that's a relief. Good to know. Thank you very much.
Sure,
Appreciate
absolutely.
your time.
Happy to talk to you.
So we're back to positive possibilities in terms of food production. So it turns out that Whole Foods is an Austin-based grocery chain, and this came out in the Tuesday, May 10th edition of the Des Moines Register. You can see it right there. A little discussion. Whole Foods is coming to Des Moines, Iowa. They announced last week that they plan to put a store in the Water Tower Place Retail Center at 42nd Street and University Avenue, right by the Best Buy. The 30,000 square foot store will employ 125 people and is expected to be open in about late spring 2012. Whole Foods is an Austin, Texas-based company that has more than 300 markets around the country in Canada and the United Kingdom. Its stores sell natural and organic foods, specialty items, meats and poultry, everyday pantry staples, and sustainable seafood. So that'll be an interesting addition to our farmers market, our Trader Joe's, and then our local neighborhood-based farmers markets as well. That's food in Iowa. Okay, oh, I almost forgot. From KCCI.com, I found another article, New Grocery Retail Community Center in the works. This is going back to the old Top Value location that's at 8th and University across the street from DMAC, not far from Mercy Hospital. But for many years, there's been an effort to reopen another grocery store in that area. It's faced quite a lot of obstacles along the way. This is the next iteration of development possibility there. I talked about the food desert in Des Moines, which is in the north central area of our city, which is where they're actually trying to reopen that store. For one reason or another, it's not happened. Quite a lot of difficulties have been encountered. So I did visit with the Evelyn Davis Community Group, where the new developer paid a visit. The Des Moines City Council decided to move forward on the project with a local firm, but then the previous firm that they were working with, the city said that that firm had been unable to provide evidence of financing for the project. So they restarted talks with CDT, and that CDT Investment LLC. That's also been written up in the Des Moines Register as well. And that's for that property that had been empty since 2004. Simon Cotron of Bettendorf is in negotiations to buy part of that property. The grocery store that they're contemplating is going to emphasize international foods, which I could see a market for. There's a pretty good size international community here. We've got students from different places. We have people who have fled here as political refugees and then settled, and then others who've been attracted to the area for various other reasons. And so they're planning a 19,000 square foot grocery store with a meat counter, fresh produce, a bakery, and a deli. And I hope they can get that going 6 months after the financing is in place. If it works, that venture is going to establish a much-needed property tax base in that area. Until the property is sold, taxpayers will carry roughly a $1.7 million loan from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so according to the article, that the property right now is a drain on the city's tight budget, and that there's been reports of vandalism at the empty store. Okay, and so the city manager, Rick Clark, and then also Mayor Frank County weighed in on the possibility. And I felt that was good that they did, because, again, there's been a lot of talk about property tax and the fact that the bill that's moving its way through the Iowa legislature would cut commercial property tax. We have a property at that location at 8th and University that could add to the property value, or not property value, but the commercial base in that area, and bring more money into the city. So it's actually in everyone's best interest to get that store up and running. Whatever's been holding it up until now, let's knock down those barriers, and let's offset the possibility of what might happen in the Iowa legislature by increasing retail, commercial property taxes in the north central part of the city. Seeing what we've seen on the videos I've taken, we definitely need that money coming in, and I think that's been emphasized by the Des Moines City Council as well. So, positive possibilities. Well, actually, I do want to say one more thing, that until that store opens, until the Whole Foods opens, that those looking for organic produce will be well served by the downtown farmers market on Saturdays, and then I think there might be one on Wednesdays now too. So those are the alternatives, or urban gardening too as well, because as we've just seen, we don't want to really depend on factory farms to feed us. Seeing what happens on those factory farms, that maybe we should definitely buy local and exercise greater control over our own green economy, even if it's on our own porch, in our backyards, or somewhere in our close vicinity, we'll say. So the topic of the show is green is real. Greed is real, and this is true, as we've seen. Greed is real, but then green is real too. And so I'm hoping that while we have greed over here with people taking advantage of workers, taking advantage of consumers, that we have green over here. Maybe that green will offset the greed a little bit. All right. This is 3rd and Court, the center of the action. There's a cover band here. I think they're playing 38 Special. Okay, so we have buildings taking bloom with living walls, and this is an article from the Des Moines Register. They're talking about Des Moines Public Library, and then other buildings in the Midwest, including assembly plants in Dearborn, Michigan, and then the city of Chicago with the Green Roofs initiatives, and the fact that living roofs have a lot of eco-friendly potential, reducing stormwater runoff, creating habitats, contributing to LEED certification. So that's being taken very seriously in the city of Des Moines, and I'm very pleased. Still at 3rd and Court, pointing east. There's also something else going on at the Franklin Library. There's an article right there. Franklin Library sets the green standard for rebuilding. And so they're saying that imagine nearly doubling the size of your house and paying just 1/3 of the original utility bills. On paper it seems like a crazy idea, but thanks to a cornucopia of green building materials and technologies, that's just what the post-renovation Franklin Avenue Library will do once it reopens this summer.